You probably know someone like this. They watch everything. They laugh at the exact right moment, remember tiny details about people they've only met once, and adapt to make everyone around them feel seen with unsettling precision. Beneath that warmth exists a strict limit on intimacy. They maintain an impenetrable ceiling that dictates exactly how deep any relationship is allowed to go. We often mistake this for the cliché of the cynical, eye-rolling loner. In reality, the chronically distrustful are frequently the most socially adept people in the room, using their perception to manage distance. This creates an exhausting, permanent negotiation. They want connection, but they carry a deep-seated conviction that letting someone in is a threat to their survival. This sophisticated architectural defense system is built over years. It is a tool for survival, refined long before the person was old enough to realize they were building it. The nervous system draws a biological conclusion based on early evidence. This conclusion defines a person's baseline for trust. Once the system settles on an answer, it aggressively defends that position, deflecting contradictory information to maintain its internal logic. A physiological defense mechanism operates exactly as it was programmed to, even when it appears to others as a cold emotional wall. Psychologist John Bowlby documented how our earliest relationships form the template for every connection that follows. This working model acts as a neural blueprint. These foundational pathways, drafted in infancy, govern how we navigate the world of adult relationships. While mapping this grid, the brain attempts to answer one core question: is it safe to depend on people? If the early environment provides a no, the brain generalizes that specific threat. It concludes that people in general are unsafe, writing a global law that persists for decades. Jennifer Freyd uses the term betrayal trauma to describe the paradox of a caregiver being both the source of safety and the source of their threat. Because a child cannot survive without their caregiver, the brain performs a desperate maneuver. It suppresses the awareness of betrayal to preserve the attachment at any cost. To ignore the harm, the child must systematically invalidate their own perception. They learn to not know what they know, explaining away the danger to maintain the bond. This forces the distrust to point inward. Adults with this history often read a room with frightening accuracy, only to immediately second-guess their own observations. Childhood betrayal leaves the internal compass scrambled, making it difficult for a person to rely on their own judgment of reality. This corrupted programming triggers a hyperscanning reflex. The moment genuine hope appears in a relationship, the brain begins hunting for the catch, searching for the small lie that proves the old conclusion was right. This internal panic manifests in two directions. The avoidant response keeps things shallow or picks fights at peak intimacy, while the anxious response demands constant testing and proximity monitoring. The most painful output is the oscillation, pulling a partner close for connection, then pushing them away the moment the intimacy feels too real to be safe. These behaviors can look like manipulation from the outside. From the inside, they are the desperate reflexes of a nervous system that feels like it is drowning. When a distrustful person finally lowers their guard, they offer a ferocious, uncompromising loyalty. Choosing to trust when every biological instinct screams it is a mistake is an act of profound courage. Betrayal collapses the internal argument they made to themselves that this time would be different. The loss destroys the hard-won hope that people might finally be safe. Their capacity for connection remains intact. It is only the belief that letting someone in is survivable that has shrunk. Verbal promises and grand gestures cannot convince a nervous system calibrated to expect betrayal. Clinical research points to earned security, the slow revision of the brain's working model through consistent, safe experiences. In practice, this is someone showing up on an unremarkable weekday exactly as they did when trying to impress you. Reliable consistency files evidence differently. This process is rarely linear. Moments of openness are followed by sudden withdrawal, as the old defensive architecture tests if it can bear the weight of a new reality. Early trauma forced the construction of a fortress to ensure survival. The slow accumulation of proof allows for the work of figuring out which of those walls are no longer needed.